What's up, man? Welcome back to another episode of the DipdNWhipd Podcast. Of course, I am your boy, Hoff with the sauce, and my dog.
Skinny.
Yes, sir. And of course, we got another guest on here today. She been here. You know, we had a nice little conversation last episode. Now she back in the guest seat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to my wife. What's your name, baby?
I am Crystal Crave, a.k.a. the Lyrical Goddess.
Come on now. Hey, come on now. Lyrical.
Say, man.
Spiritual. Irritable. Queerical.
No.
Let me do the rapping.
Nah, but yeah, man, we got a good episode. My boy Skinny back in the cut today. We got a nice little conversation. It's gonna get a little juicy, a little saucy, a little controversial. But we gonna bring it to you. More fruit by the foot. And today, let's of course start with our icebreaker of the day. Let's talk about some music, man. Let's talk about some music. Music everybody can all kind of, tap in, and we all love music. We all listen to it. Y'all know, y'all are artists. So y'all do this. So what is an artist, or who is an artist who inspired you to become this version of yourself, or at least had a hand, like their music had a hand in you becoming this person that you are today?
Me personally, I would say it was Drake and Wayne.
Okay.
Like Wayne, when we was young, it was just basically he came out, he was young, started off as a kid, he was rapping. And the way that his style like progressed through the years, and it was just like a I don't give a fuck type of attitude that came with it. Like he basically made me want to rap. Like he made me want to rap even when he learned how to get the different style, when he popped out with the bape and all that. Yeah. It just was like, this is what it is. Now I'm here doing it.
What about you, mama?
Eve.
Yeah.
I was just so mesmerized coming up because you see this pretty face, and then when she rapped, it was so gritty and it was so raw and it was so real, and she always had a message. You know what I mean? So she definitely influenced me in my artistry from a young age. It's a combination of her and Left Eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I haven't said this before. I hold it very, near and dear to my chest, in my heart. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is that boy and will forever be that boy. Yeah, Mike, he actually played a pivotal part in my life. Like his music, ever since I was a kid, I don't even know where it came from, but ever since I was a kid, it was just something about him that made me feel like and believe that I could be who I wanted to be, regardless of anybody saying anything. I can always be myself. And for whatever reason, I don't know how I got that from him, but I think it was the way he dressed, the way he went about doing things. Like even when people talked about him having the high pants, the glittery glove, the socks, like the shit he would wear, the glittery jackets and all of this, and having with the little onesie on, and like people would talk shit, but he was still that dog. Motherfuckers dressed like him today. Like he can have a whole hood jump and just play rock with me. You know what I mean? Rock with you, or like any type of Michael Jackson song, like you get the whole hood jumping. So I think he was just one of those trendsetters, one of those pioneers who just kind of exceeded all the hate and everything.
And I think with me, when I was saying Wayne and Drake, Drake was able to give that like vulnerable side. Like you don't have to be tough. Like you don't have to be tough. You can listen to this and you can express that, hey, I felt this way. I kept this in for so long. But now it's like, he shit on it. Like, he'll talk to you. Now he showed, hey, I was hurt, but now I'm here.
Because a lot of niggas listened to that Marvin's Room and felt every word. That boy had me hurting in high school. I was like, I feel every bit of, boy.
In tears.
Come on now. Nah, man. But yeah, we got an interesting topic today. We're going to talk about, does toxic masculinity and femininity exist? What does it look like to be toxic and masculine, or toxic and feminine? For me, myself, I don't believe that it exists. I believe it's something that people use to put an excuse or put somebody in a box, right? So saying something is okay, that's toxic masculinity. I don't believe that, because I don't believe masculinity or femininity can be toxic. I feel like people can be toxic, but the masculine and feminine energy that women and men give off, I don't feel like that itself can be toxic. I feel like the individuals can be toxic. What about you, since you're making all those faces over there?
Toxic masculinity is definitely a thing. And I'm going to speak to black men only because that's all I know. Love y'all very much. Y'all are all I know. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I feel like at very, very young ages, I acknowledge that life is not kind to y'all. You know, so in some cases, it's kind of like, it's you don't have a choice, you know. But I do feel like from very, very young ages, y'all are forced to grow up really fast and toughen up. You're not allowed to be cry. You a little 3-year-old boy, for example, like our son, he cry, he get emotional, suck it up, stop. And it's like, that is toxic masculinity. Y'all don't understand that has been embedded in y'all from young ages. So to say that it doesn't exist, babe, I love you, that's not true. That's not true, babe. It's not fair to y'all. And again, I acknowledge it. And I'm sure every race goes through that. I just know my kings. That's all I know. So that's what I'm speaking to.
Yes.
And you saying all of that, but I don't think I've said anything that y'all disagree with.
No.
Y'all see how I ate that up real quick?
What about you, Skinny?
Yeah. So I feel it's true. I think it is true. With the toxic masculinity, basically, like, we are basically built to be like suppress our emotions from things that we're taught. So like, even when you are hurt, you all right, you're gonna be okay.
Got you.
When you walk in the world, you see that it's harsh.
Yeah.
And I speak for black people, black men, etc. I don't live another race. I know that other races do go through it.
Yeah. Right.
But with me personally, I feel like it's a difference. And with me suppressing like how I feel with certain things, so not showing emotion and like being aggressive, like I feel like I have to be aggressive certain times. Like even when I was younger, I would do things out of character to show that I'm here, I'm strong, I'm this, and I'm aggressive. And I thought that was like the coolest thing in the world. And we got basically like a round of applause for doing that, you know. And now it's like, it was good. It was something that built your character, but damn, it also could have been something that was hurting you in the end, because now you don't know how to express it, and you've been holding on to it for so long.
So to give like a definition, toxic masculinity is harmful because it promotes an idea of what a real man should be, is to suppress emotions and to handle things in a dominating manner or in an aggressive way. That doesn't make you a real man.
See, so this is why I said it didn't exist, because I agree with y'all, right? But I feel like individually, those are certain people, right? Like, of course, you know, with what y'all said makes sense, right? Saying like, okay, the way we was raised and like how society teaches us, we can't have emotions really. So that makes sense to me, right? But I feel like in an instance where it's like, some men feel like they have to be harder than most to show like, oh, I'm this big tough guy, or like, oh, I can get women. You know what I mean? Because ego, right? I feel like that was more of an ego thing rather than like something that was embedded in us. It doesn't make sense, because I feel like being masculine, you don't have any toxic traits as far as the masculine, because I can walk and be myself and dress feminine like I do and still be masculine. You know that I'm a man. You know that I'm about what I say I'm about, and can't nobody get me off my path, right? Like me walking into the world knowing like I'm going to face these things, but I face it with my head up. And you see what I'm saying? So I feel like for me, that's why I say it didn't exist. But I agree with y'all saying like something, it was taught, it was implanted, and this is how we go throughout the world thinking like, okay, I can't do these certain things, or I can't act this certain way because this is not what a man is supposed to do. Like you said with Drake,
it's a box that was
exactly
created.
like you said with Drake, like being vulnerable wasn't considered being manly, right? But nowadays I feel like men are being a lot more vulnerable than we used to in the past. You see what I'm saying? So like being able to share how we feel and like through the arts or through however we are able to express ourselves, I feel like that has become another form of masculinity in this day and age, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why in my mind, that's why I felt like, and I thought like, I don't believe that the toxicness of masculinity and femininity is something that is real, because I feel like the individuals are the ones who are toxic. And if you know someone is masculine, there's no question. Like, I don't have to show you that, because that's just what I am. You know, that's just what I walk in. Like, your femininity, like, you are my wife. You're constantly feminine. You're asking me, do I need stuff? You're cooking and cleaning. I'm not saying that's one thing, because I do the same thing, right? But what I'm saying is, like, you show your soft side, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to go and be strong man around you all day, every day, grumpy, just to show you that I'm a man. And that's why I felt the way I felt.
Yeah. Okay. So when you say that, because you're speaking now in past tense, did we kind of change?
Well, y'all, so I think what it was I was looking at it in the lens of thinking like, this is what this meant, but you explaining what it means as far as like being conditioned to be a certain way makes more sense now. Because I'm thinking like, you know how things get projected onto people, right?
Yeah.
So like, okay, you saying that, oh well, he's doing this, like the word sassy, right?
Yeah.
Like, men standing up for themselves.
Yeah, I hate that word.
Yeah.
Men standing up for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Is now considered sassy
as hell.
because I'm talking back and trying to defend myself. Does that
They
make
be
sense?
like, shut up, sassy.
Sassy.
And now my masculinity is being challenged because I'm trying to defend myself
And now
from
I gotta
something
show
I
it.
disagreed with you about.
Okay, but wait.
Does that make sense?
You're right. 100%. Two things can be true at the same
Two
time.
things.
That's
Some of
absolutely
these
true.
men,
For sure.
That's
they
absolutely
be tripping sometimes.
absolutely true.
I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm
Absolutely true.
perfect patty. I can admit I've called a man sassy before.
Absolutely true.
We're arguing and you are attacking me and somebody
woman.
comments because you wanting to argue about black women's nails and lashes and wigs. Why are you worried about? You're
Right.
a man. Go
Right.
shave.
Go do what you
do a
gotta do.
push up. Go play some sports. Be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sassy. So yes, I have called a man sassy. I have, but I can understand where y'all coming from. Sometimes it is misused, and I also think that it is very, not to get off subject, but I do think that it's kind of disrespectful and inconsiderate to people of LGBTQ plus, because there are gay men and flamboyant men that aren't in the community
Absolutely.
that carry themselves
Absolutely.
in a decent way. So when you are referring to a man as sassy for simply being ignorant or whatever, like, that's what you saying about them. You know what I mean? Not everybody is like that. So I do
Right.
feel like it is a habit. Us ladies do need to simmer down just a little bit, but at the same time, these niggas be acting like that, they be acting like that. So I
Now,
understand.
I will say, with that being said as well, is it goes for both sides, right?
You do.
Because
Yes.
even with that being the case, like, you got niggas calling women more masculine now too. Like, oh, you want to be a nigga,
Manly.
you know what I mean? Or you want to be a man because now like, y'all are, coming up, y'all having y'all own bread, so y'all don't really
Yeah.
need niggas no more. But now y'all starting to take on these traits where niggas used to can do and be with whoever they want.
Yeah.
Now men are seeing women having that same option, and so niggas are being like, well, she acting like a nigga, you know what I mean? So men are choosing to not involve themselves or to call women, oh, you toxic, you got toxic femininity or toxic masculinity as well. And it's like, with that, it's like, how does that work? Because on this side, you're saying that you want this type of woman, right? And you want this woman to go, for the niggas who do, you want this woman to go 50-50, right? But this woman got bread, right? And so you're expecting her to go 50-50, and if she's okay with that, but she got the options that's allowed to her, you think she's not going to explore those options as if you were?
Yeah. And
No,
go ahead.
please. Look, I'm the guest. This is y'all show.
So for the female side, like, before it seemed like females are real submissive.
Right.
You're supposed to be submissive to a man who's leading correctly, who's God, who's the son of God, etc. But it's to the point where females now, I'm thinking that they have seen that they have probably been following people who's not leading them correctly. So they also that submissive soft side, like I hear a bunch of girls say soft girl era. I want to enter my soft girl era.
Yes.
And I think all girls want that, because girls want that soft side of where they feel protection and they feel like they have a provider with them, and they lead, you know, they have somebody they can be soft with. They feel like a little girl with.
Yes.
And I think that now certain things that we kind of like see on social media and also music wise, it changes the dynamic of things.
Yeah.
Females are not that. I think all females from when my mama, younger women, older, they're almost all the same. It's just a little bit different of like how they presented themselves or who they were with when they were with their husband and etc. Because I know a lot of older people who have like the husband or so would have different women with different kids, etc.
Ooh, I'm so happy you said that.
It happened, and like now it's to the point where I think females kind of know that I can do this, and especially the ones that's grinding and like really are on their shit. They're like, I'm gonna be independent. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing, but also sometimes as a man, if you ain't got your stuff together, it's gonna beat your ego and it make you feel like, damn, I can't bring nothing to the table besides some and some of that, you know.
Did you hear what you just said?
I don't want to talk about it.
No. I just because I'm just wanting you to sit with what you just said. Your ego. Again, I've said two things can be true, right? A lot of times these men make the mistake of being in competition with women. Just because I'm on my grind and I make so much money and shit, in some cases I make more money than you. Why does that hurt your ego? Because you have to realize one thing I don't like to do, and I try to implement this even when I'm talking to my audiences, do not forget the struggles for Black men, which I go through. Two things can be true. At one point, Black women were the bottom of we couldn't vote, we couldn't work, we couldn't do nothing. Nothing. Do you understand?
Sure.
So, times are so different now, and we get to explore these things and be all these things. I can be a wife, I can be a mom, I can be everything I want to be. Babe, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be able to make it rain on my husband. I want to do that. Why does that hurt your ego? Me being powerful and empowered, it shouldn't do that. It should not do that, you know?
And I think, and that's why I keep saying this, because that's why I feel like those individuals are the issues. Does it make sense? I feel like men like that, because why would I have a problem with the woman being successful and doing her shit, and it has nothing to do with me?
It depends on, because basically it becomes an issue when it's a norm. So like, it's like individuality. This is what it is. Like, I'm okay with it. You're okay with it. But when it's become like it seems like everybody is feeling the same way. I know for me, I know some friends who like they had money, then their girlfriend or their fiance, they got a higher job and position or something and making way more money and bring it in. It's like, all right, what do I bring to the table? Because sometimes we don't know how more to lead.
I can tell you what you bring to the table. It ain't nothing like a Black man. Your comfort, your protection, your guidance, your leadership. You understand? You bring you. You understand? Like, it's nothing like y'all.
I think that's where the disconnect is, right? Because we're talking financially, right? And for some reason lately, finances has become a big thing. And I'm not going to say for some reason, because the economy is shit. And so everybody's trying to get to the bag, right? But everybody also want to be in love. Everybody want somebody to love on them. I feel like where the dynamic kind of shifts and men become those type of men become a little bit more mindful and more like deterred from, trying to talk to a woman who has their shit together, is because like in the beginning, now you hear people saying like, if you broke, you shouldn't date because that shit costs. That shit is expensive.
It is.
And I feel like taking finances out of it, right? Finances is one thing, and we're gonna get to that part, right? But if I'm trying to get to know somebody, fuck the finances, because you ain't gonna meet me at my best, and I'm not gonna meet you at your best, whether it's financial, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, because there's gonna be some baggage with anybody that you meet. It doesn't matter if you're making $1 million. It doesn't matter if you're making $1. Like, if you bring in like something to the table, as in like, okay, this is what I can provide for you. This is what you can provide for me. Like, as long as we love each other and we understand, like, we're going to work together, like, why does any of that matter? Now, understanding the economy and shit like that, it does matter, right? But I'm saying, in the pursuit of happiness and the pursuit of love, none of that should mean anything as far as, like, when we got together, right?
Yeah.
We got together, right? Where was you and where was I? I was driving a 77 El Camino. That was my daddy's.
I had a rental house.
So like understand, like, we didn't search for each other and what we could provide as far as monetarily.
Right.
We searched and we felt like there was something there. There was a connection. Yeah. Right. Even though like I said in the other episode, like, there was something, because I knew I wasn't ready as far as like mentally and emotionally to give that to you. We still got there because we were searching and working for that. Now, I feel like people lead first, men and women lead first with monetary, and I think that's where it gets misconstrued as far as the toxicness of all of it, to where it's like, I own this much money, I have this much money, my net worth is this, and then some women are saying, I won't date a man that don't have this. You know what I'm saying? And some men are combating that by saying, well, why would I date you if I got this? And if I do date you, are you going to let me do this? Right? I should be able to have free reign. If I'm meeting every criteria, I should be able to do X, Y, and Z, and you not say nothing. Right? And then I feel like that dynamic is what caused us to have these toxic masculinity and femininity, because it's all surrounding what can I gain rather than what can I give. Does it make sense? And so that's why I felt like it was like more so like it doesn't exist unless you are chasing one thing. Your mindset is set on one thing and you're not searching for the right reasons. Does it make sense?
Yes.
And I'm talking about life in general, not just you know, I always say this: you chase your purpose, the money will follow. You chase money, you'll lose yourself. Does it make sense? And so that's why I felt like all the toxicness, you can be a toxic person and be feminine. You can be a toxic person and be masculine. And I feel like that's why I felt like in the beginning, that's why I felt like it didn't exist, because I felt like individuals create that.
And the thing is, the toxicity is a mindset. So like when you have that mindset where being toxic is normal, it can cause chaos in your entire life. So like sometimes I know from experience that I had toxic. I did. I'm telling you. Oh my god.
You know the first step is accountability.
And that's it. I realized,
dog.
I said, why is so much toxic stuff coming to me? But everything that I did, I wanted to gain. I didn't care about another person's feelings. I didn't care about anybody else's like thought process of why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want to do it. And me bringing so much like masculinity in it and being toxic, like just trying to be a strong man and trying to prove a point. Like proving a point got me so many deductions in life. Like truthfully, like I've done so much to try to prove points, and I realized it wasn't meant for me to do that. Right. And I needed to change a lot of things, but I had to come accountable, and I wasn't accountable with a lot of things. And I don't think a lot of men hold ourselves, I'm not gonna say everybody, but hold ourselves accountable to doing the right thing. And actually, when you with a family and you have somebody that you're trying to gain with, y'all need to have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, what you gonna do? Like it's no intention that's gonna really come out of it. Besides just being toxic, because now with a female who's thinking, hey, well, I'm making more money than him, and then you hear somebody in her ear, her friend tell her, girl, I might have. Hey, you got this dude. He got dude. Hey, it's a dude out here got some money. You ain't even gonna do that. He gonna have you put up. Blah blah blah. And your man ain't got it, or your man lacking in something. And now that music, it's like certain things that we listen to. Girls just like, I'ma shit on them. I'ma pop my shit this way. I can get a different nigga instantly, which us dudes make the same music. We say I feel it. So two things can be true.
Two things can be true. Yep. Points for skinny ladies.
Hey man, I think, let me do the sassy one.
I think also with that being said, I feel like certain things like in our communities, whether it's the black men community and the black women. Like I said in a few episodes back, the war against black men versus black women, I feel like it's fake. Like it's not a majority.
It's not a,
it's a minority, but it's what is being showed and promoted, right? Like it's what's being pushed. And so I feel like women try to protect themselves and having this girls clique thing, right? Out of the fear of like these niggas ain't shit.
We gotta protect each
other. And so sometimes I feel like that can be like niggas too. That can be a detriment to like finding something, whether it be it in life or whether it just be it in relationship. Saying like listening to someone who don't have that same like fervor for you or have that same like thing for you. They don't want what's best for you. They just want you to be with them. Does it make sense?
Like y'all saw when it was going viral how, you know, they were doing this open interview. They go around asking the guys, snitch on your homie for cheating on his girl, or you know, you go to jail or whatever, and they would,
niggas
and it's like, and they got so upset because a lot of women were saying a lot of these men will cater to the emotional needs of their homeboy before they protect a woman. And it's like, y'all, you know, but
like, why would first of all, why would I rather cheat on my wife than to say a nigga and hold a nigga accountable for some shit he did? Like
they would cheat on their girlfriend, but
and that's what I'm saying. I feel like that type of community, having those type of mindsets is what sets us back and put like, it's not a majority, right? But it puts us against each other and thinking that that's the majority, because now you saying niggas saying I'd rather do this than snitch on my homeboy. To be honest, that shit sassy as hell. Like why in the fuck
why we be saying sassy?
No, I know.
That's why.
I feel like in both senses, where niggas are calling women masculine and women are calling niggas sassy, I feel like it can be misused. But I feel like the act of those type of communities and those type of narratives being created, like women are telling other women like she got a nigga who does any and everything for him, but he's boring, right?
We can get on these women all day,
right? And for men to be like, well, I would rather go and cheat on my girl rather than a snitch on my homeboy because that's my dog. I ride for my dog. Well, if a nigga gonna ride for his dog, why you can't ride for your wife the same way? If the nigga know what he doing to get himself caught up and in trouble, your wife ain't do nothing.
It take growth though.
Yeah.
Because like when I was younger, it was bros of house. Regardless.
I think that was all of us.
My whole life.
That was all of us. That was all of us. That was all of us. I think we was hurting on the inside.
I've experienced women, you know, like all she does, it's always her man, my man, or like saying things like, you know, I'm independent, I don't need a man. Okay, my man come through. So you don't got no choice. My man come through. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you feel me? Like, shit, you know me, but I'm a hustler. I can do it on my own too. But it's like my man come through, so I don't have to. So don't make me feel I'm going home to my man. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I feel like, where the disconnect when it comes to being a girl's girl. You know, they kind of will do that. You know, it's kind of like a pull. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel you, and I'm here, girl's girl, all of that. Yeah, but I'm going home to my man.
I think what in both communities with those like mindsets, I feel like the individual experiences that those people have is what makes them believe that they have to protect like each other from said thing, but everyone is not the same. So when you're accosting somebody for something they didn't even do. And now you're saying, oh, well, that nigga boring, or don't talk to that nigga. Like, even when you're out and about and niggas trying to talk to girls or women are trying to talk to men, there's always somebody who is trying to get in the way of that connection because they don't have that or they don't want to see you with that because their own individual experiences.
It's not malicious. It's not on purpose sometimes.
I feel like, and that's why I say sometimes, like, with the being toxic and being masculine and feminine, I feel like with our individual experiences that shape us to feel like what is toxic, what do we feel is toxic and what do we feel is normal? Because some people don't feel like the toxic, like I've heard men and women say, well, if I'm in a relationship, I don't feel like it's a good relationship unless we being a little toxic. I like a little toxicity in my relationship.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want the headache. You know what I mean? I like trying to work shit out with my wife. I don't like shit being toxic, because the longer I can't talk to my wife, the more I'm hurting. You know what I mean? Like, I love being with my wife and being able to talk and love on each other and stuff, but I don't like to argue. Some people love to do that, and
and because the thing is, I think sometimes it helps them feel like it's ride or die. We were able to go through issues and we're able to work it out and be able to fix it. But sometimes you can avoid that. Yeah, like it's a lot of times where I speak a lot of stuff because of experience. I know for me, I've been through toxic situations. I have been through peaceful situations with relationships, etc. But like, I have been in so many toxic relationships and different things where I see that people mindsets and the way that their actions present themselves from listening to other people can change up and ruin your entire happiness. Because you can have A, B, and C right here, everything right here on this table. You listen to somebody from the outside who probably doesn't have anything that you got going on, and they're toxic, and you're trying to have a even kill mind and like keep your head straight. If you listen to them and let that get inside your brain, that toxic stuff that she's doing is gonna come to you, and that's gonna bring your relationship. And you listen to it, and you basically like had yourself influenced by somebody who doesn't have half of the shit that you got going on. And now you are bringing the toxicness into the relationship, and you're not being submissive anymore. You're being overly independent, and it's not to the point. I understand that women have to be independent. Like women have to be independent. In a lot of
cases, they don't have a choice,
and they have to be, because I feel like women, especially black women, go through a lot. Like I don't think us dudes really taking us dudes taking like we don't take it into like consideration at all. Consideration.
Like,
we were like,
pandering and masculinity are two things used to demean and tarnish black women. And often cases when you think of she masculine, they're talking about black women, and they don't acknowledge a lot of things that kind of give us disadvantages. Like, the black men, for a while they were stripped from the homes, and then not to not hold y'all accountable, or like, but then oftentimes black women didn't have a choice but to step up and do this and do that. We didn't have a choice but to be hard and be tough, and we're situations we see Latino women, right? They'll do this and do that. They don't get called masculine. They don't get called what we do.
They get called spicy.
It's spicy. It's like in some cases I catch myself with him where it's like I forget, Crystal, let him lead. Fall, because in my mind I'm thinking I want to hustle, I gotta because if he falls short, I want to be strong enough to pick it up, so it's like you can't be strong all the time, but it's like, damn, that makes me masculine. Like I'm not trying to be the nigga, I'm just trying to hold a nigga down. I want to work too. Like he'll tell me, Crystal, sit down, this is your calling, this is what you need to do, and I'll be like, I want to work, I want to do this, I want to do. He's like, I got it, and I'm like, okay.
And anytime she try to work, what God do? Bring her ass right back.
Sit right down.
Sit your ass down.
Stick to the music. Stick to everything else.
I keep going back to this because I feel like the more we go in depth into this conversation, it two things, like you said, can be true. Like, there's a such thing as the way we grow up into being like this hard and this stoic and non-emotional being, and not understanding and finding ways to actually deal with our emotions and being able to express those things in a positive manner or a correct manner. Also, with that being said, the more we go into it, I feel like certain individual experiences shape these things as well. And so with the communities that are, or the things that are being pushed for us to be against each other and to create these labels for each other, just to put people in a box to try to protect ourselves from each other when we don't have to. These individual, like, I feel like I met so many people in my life, right? Not everybody was good. Not everybody was bad. Some good people do bad shit. Some bad people do good shit. But it's the individuals who carries those things, right? It's the individuals who show you who they truly are. So being toxic is a trait that an individual has, right? Like if the individual is going to be toxic, they're going to show you that because that's who they are individually as a person, as a human being. Now, that masculinity that comes into play can be an additive to them being toxic, or that over the top I don't even think you can be over the top feminine, but just adding a sprinkle of femininity into who she already is and using that, but she's already a toxic person. Does it make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So the people themselves are toxic, but using the feminine and the masculine to their advantage to be like even more daunting on somebody's like energy and spirit and stuff like that. So I don't know. I
Good talk, guys.
I get it. Like, I get it. It exists, but I also do still feel like it's the individuals who create that narrative, right? It's the individuals who allows that narrative to be spun because that's who they are genuinely.
And I think more people need to talk about it. I think that we kind of like sweep it under the rug and just hold me accountable. You my friend? Hold me accountable. If I'm doing some toxic shit, let me know and be able to accept that you telling me this, and I'm not mad at you for telling me this. I don't think that when I grew up, I ain't had no conversation about no toxic masculinity.
Nope.
I ain't never heard of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and like now I sit back and I'm like, all right, now when I got older and I go through the experiences that I went through and I see this ain't just for me. When I hear other people's conversation, it's like, that shit toxic as hell.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, like for real.
Yes.
But who talked to us about that?
Yeah.
Who was able to help us be able to understand that, all right, I'm at toxic 1. I can go to toxic 4.
Yeah.
But let me try to relax and get it down to toxic 0. I don't think nobody talked to us about that.
And I feel like I feel like sometimes being toxic can be misconstrued with having your hiccups or making mistakes, right? I feel like people consider like a fuck up being toxic, and I don't think so. I think people need to have grace and allow grace to areas where we all fuck up because we're all human.
Yes.
Like I'm going to fuck up,
Yes.
right? I'm going to do shit that she doesn't like or say things that she don't like, and vice versa. And it's like, I don't want you to think that just because I messed up this once, or I did something that you didn't like, or I said something that you didn't like, that I'm toxic. It's not so much that I'm toxic, it's just that I'm learning. So I'm learning you, but I'm also learning myself as well.
And the thing is, I think with what you're saying, 100% agree. But I think it's more so of a pattern of actions with it. Okay. When it's a pattern of the actions that's constantly showing toxicness,
then it becomes
it's an issue.
Got you.
Because I think that we can, I know I see something like we had the conversation, red flags.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah.
But like basically, like if you are showing me one sign, I know we human. 2 signs, I know we human. 3 times, I know we human. But when it's
it's a pattern.
It's a pattern.
Habit.
Oh no, because now when it's a habit, this is something that's gonna constantly be in a relationship that we got.
Well, I mean, we got this far, man. Might as well check the fits out, man. Might as well check the fit. We had a good conversation. What you got on today, Skinny?
Hey, man, I got an Elevate jersey. I got this from FIT Fit.
Okay.
This kind of cool. I
like
like
hard,
it.
low key. Yeah.
I got the camo shorts, Fashion Nova.
Yeah. Okay.
Fashion Nova, that was nice.
Yeah.
Ferrari 14.
Come on now. Room.
I was heartbroken I didn't get the red ones, but it is what it is. What you got on, brother?
You know me, man. I'm dressed like Deontay Sanders, man. I got the good old, ball cap with the LA on it. I think I got a little crosses on it. I had to bring out my scarf. I always got to have a scarf on me. You never know what can go down. Got my big ball jersey. Number 2, what it do.
Icy.
If you know, you know. Your boy Hoff with the sauce got his name because he was Hall of Fame James first.
Say, man.
Come on, man. And I got the moves on, man. My boy say, ow. And come on now. Old McDonald had a farm, baby. Old McDonald had a farm.
No animals were harmed.
Old McDonald had a farm, baby. And then I got my little my Nike Spiridons on, baby. Got that cherry color flavor. What about you, my baby?
Look, y'all. Unlike the co-host, I am not a fashionista. I like to keep it cute and simple. Okay, I got on a jumpsuit. You gonna always catch me in a jumpsuit. I like Mrs. Throw that on.
Yeah,
that's what I am.
Okay.
But I like keep it cute.
Okay, now I like that.
Poppy.
What
we talking about?
That's my first tie in that one.
Brown jumpsuit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the aesthetics. The aesthetics.
Come on now. Yeah, man. I guess to wrap it up, all in all, toxic masculinity and femininity does exist. I think it's the way that was explained to me. It makes sense because we are taught and we are learned a certain thing as kids, and we grow up as men and women. Like even with toxic femininity, I believe we gave examples, but another example of how we're raised to think a certain way is to where women are raised to say, okay, you're supposed to be treated this way by a man, but I don't think necessarily women are taught how to treat a man. Does it make sense? So we are taught, like, as young boys, we are taught we're supposed to treat girls like this, treat women like this. But I feel like women are taught to have this fairy tale idea and to reach the goal of being married, but not understanding or learning how to treat a man.
Pop it.
Because we both go through these ebbs and flow of life. Black men and black women. Black women get shitted on. Black men get shitted on.
Yes.
And why are we fighting each other?
Yeah.
But it's only because we are learning two different things. We're learning how to evolve and be this harsh and unemotional being, but also to treat a woman this way, but not to go further than treating you on the baseline. Open the doors and make sure you take care of finances and provide and protect, right? We are taught these things, but when we get deeper into how to actually treat a woman as she wants to be treated,
yes.
like, how do you want to be loved? We aren't taught that. And then for women are taught, okay, chase the love, right? Be loved and be this type of woman so you can find this man and so you can get married, but not how to treat a man so you can be married, like how to cater or how to love on a man to where he feels like, okay, I can come home and be this soft being that I'm supposed to be. Because men, we have emotions too. We have feelings too, but we're not taught to be
express that.
Yeah, like emotional. Taught to let our guards down.
Emotion
we have a guard
is a problem.
Up. Yeah, exactly. So men want, like, just like women, men want to be held. Men want to be spoon and cuddle and
I want to be the little spoon,
man.
right? Is that what it is? The little spoon.
We humans, like we niggas, but we humans. Like, you think I want to go through a day of having to deal with the fucking man, arguing with this motherfucker, working in the hot sun every single day, and coming home to a woman yelling at me and not having shit done, and now I have to do X, Y, and Z because she chose not to because she don't know how to. Does it make sense?
Can I add something? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
You wanna
Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we include this. And one thing I will never stand for is people, outsiders, because this is a diverse podcast. Right. Everybody's welcome to watch, right? But for the most part, we speak on what we know. What we relate to is the Black community. This isn't about us being victims of everything. This is what happened to the Black family household. A big part of it was the system was set up to corrupt the Black family household. It was set up for us to eventually go against each other. You look up, every commercial is a Black man with a white woman. You cannot tell me that this is not brainwashing. A lot of situations, to know peace is to go get after a white woman, whatever. I feel like we just need to remember, we so angry at each other, and we so angry at each other. Me saying this, people gonna get mad because we so angry at it, so much tension. Don't forget to consider what we've been through, Black men and Black women. We forget to take care of each other. Don't forget to consider what we've been through. It's something I remind myself, which is why early in conversations when I told you, I know what y'all go through, and I understand some stuff y'all can't help. You know what I mean? So just want to make sure I mentioned that. That's it.
I think an example that was brought to my attention a while back is very telling, right? Of how we should interact with our loved ones or our partners. It's like we can go work for a motherfucker we don't like, but put on a smile and this uppity, you know what I mean? And be very, very happy looking, right? And we come home and give our person or even our community the bullshit and it's like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, I understand you're not always going to be happy with the motherfucker you working for or working with or this and that, right? But the person that you love, the people that you love shouldn't get that blowback because you're already mad at this. Like, you should channel that energy and that emotion and put that towards something that's constructive.
Yes.
If it's not telling the motherfucker how you feel back at the job, at least putting that towards something to where you're not, giving this person the shit because they didn't do nothing to you and they don't deserve that.
Yes.
So understanding in this cycle of what toxicity is and being masculine and being feminine, us as men and women should understand we both go through shit in this world, but let's try to be mindful that we don't bring that shit home, because I think that's where the disconnect is happening as well. It's like we're bringing all this outside shit into the house, where at that door is where it's supposed to stay. Like, that outside shit can wait out there, and I can just come home and be happy with my woman, and this is be my getaway from the bullshit outside, and then vice versa. A woman should be able to come home to her man or have someone who she feels safe around. You know what I mean?
Be a safe space for a man to be emotional and soft.
Yeah.
Yes. And one thing too, as us being a generation, it's a lot of things where we all both made great points. We have to, as us being adults, we're gonna have to teach and show the younger kids, etc.
Pop your shit.
Pop it. Shit. Let me pop it real quick. We're gonna have to teach them those things. And if you are living the life and you constantly see toxic masculinity and femininity, you're going to basically get equipped and adapt to that environment. We have to be able to put in expectations, standards, and be able to recognize, hey, this is not okay. And if this is too toxic, something, whereas the patterns are there and the actions are there, we gotta be able to remove ourselves from it and be able to look for peace, because at the end of the day, all we need is peace. And if we don't have those things set in line where we hold ourselves accountable to remove those toxic behaviors, it's gonna be trash. It's gonna be trash.
Well, I guess in conclusion, let's all love one another, man.
Yeah.
Our past experiences should not be projected onto people who are supposed to be in our future or our present. Our past has nothing to do with them. They have nothing to do with our past. And let's not project that onto them. We have to deal with our traumas. We have to deal with the shit that we've been through before we get to the next person. Because I feel like a lot of times we block our blessings because we still dealing with the shit in the past, and we thinking about the shit in the past and not looking at the shit right in front of us and understanding this is not that. This is something entirely new. This is something entirely special, and this is a blessing from God. So we need to be able to appreciate that, but we can't do that looking backwards. You can't look forward if your head is turned around, So, man, yeah, man. I guess we can go ahead and we can go ahead and end this off. I mean, please give y'all takes as well.
Say comment. If you want to see Crystal some more.
Hey, man. Hey.
And was I a good fill-in for Skinny?
Popped it.
Yeah. Y'all let us know if y'all want us to have my wife back onto the show a lot more.
Like this flow.
I know she busy, so I gotta write a schedule and I gotta check her schedule and get back to me. So, but no, please comment on all of our episodes and put your inputs in just to kind of let us know how you feel about the topic. What are your thoughts on the topic, and do you feel like there are certain things that we didn't address that we can address in a later episode as well. Other than that, man, I'm your host, Hoff with the Sauce, my dog
Skinny,
and our special guest
Crystal Crave, the lyrical goddess.
And this was another episode of the DipdNWhipd Podcast, man.
Pop it.
We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Ski.